All right, y'all. So I had like this thing on my mind today, and it was pretty much talking about where the industry is going with the cameras. And specifically, the thought that came to my mind this morning, probably around like 10 o'clock, 9:30, right? Mind fresh and everything. What is going to happen to us when the tariffs hit, right? So I chat GPT'd, I Googled, like I did a little research. I'm not going to sit here and say I know everything, but I pretty much just went through some stuff, and it was shocking because I'm thinking like, yo, these brands that we normally buy that's out of the country, is the price is going to be high now, right? So I'm like, so who would it hit harder? Would it hit me because I'm a Sony user? Would it, hit somebody else who shoots with another brand? What does it look like for most industries, corporate, weddings, you name it, right? Even the drone, the people who out there do like drone footage and stuff like that, right? Because DJI is not like located here. So what would the tariffs do in that instance, right? Like if you're a brand loyal to those, those brands, how much will everything like skyrocket here in the US? So I'm not going to get into like any of like the politics and stuff like that, but we all know this is pretty much like another form of warfare, with trade. The thing is that Trump was saying is if you build here in the US, we're going to lower your tariffs. So that's pretty much what I've been hearing, but I'm gonna get back on the subject. I'm thinking like, yo, what brands are overseas, right? What brands are actually here? And obviously we already know Red was actually manufactured here. And then Blackmagic, was one that I actually saw too. In Anton, I guess the batteries. The Anton batteries, the Bauer batteries. I think that's how you say it. I don't have these batteries, but apparently, like, they collaborate with, like, it's a French brand, but they collaborate with each other here in the US. So you have the Anton Bauer batteries, the Blackmagic design, and you also have the Red camera. So I was thinking about the tariffs. I'm thinking like in the next like 4 years plus maybe, right? Is Red going to be the #1 cinema camera, or Nikon, for instance, right? Because we all know that Nikon and Red kind of pretty much like came together, and I don't know if they knew about it already, but it's just kind of weird how they moving. And being that Nikon is like a Japanese brand, and obviously Red is here, technically the business is they're doing business with the US already. So here, this is what I had in my mind. I'm like, yo, are people going to slowly but surely move to Blackmagic and Red cameras and Nikon cameras just because of what's going on? Because obviously nobody wants to be spending like crazy cash. And not to forget, Canon is overseas also too. So I think Canon is like Japan and Taiwan, right? Don't quote me on this stuff. I'm Googling it just like everybody else. Is everything going to shift over, right? To, instead of being brand loyal to these, to the Canons, the Sonys, the Fujis, et cetera, right? Are people going to slowly migrate to the Red and the Blackmagic just because it may be cheaper? I just know with video, nothing is ever going to get cheaper, right? But if the prices are going to go up much higher, that's definitely something we should keep our eye on, right? So yeah, that's pretty much like my TED talk, or that's pretty much what I had in my mind today, this morning. I definitely know the economy got to get better. I'm not this politician or anything like that. I have no idea what's going to happen in the future, but definitely there are some benefits to this tariffs, and there are some downsides to this tariffs, just like anything else, right? There's a pros and there's the cons, but lately people have been talking about the pros, right? So, and nobody's really been talking about the cons. Also too, if you think about it, even if there are people who trying to get into the lane of being a photographer or a videographer, this kind of messes with that choice too. Like, do you want to get in this type of field? Is it going to be beneficial to you? Do you want to start a business like this knowing that things are going to be like mega expensive, right? So I think it's going to hurt the business side of different brands, but I do think it's going to hurt the consumer mostly, especially people who want to, like I said, get into this type of field. So yeah, this is my thought. It makes sense, right? Well, let me know what your thoughts are, and if it makes sense of what I'm saying, because even though it's here, like, maybe like 4 years from now, people will be like, dang, he said it. This is what he said was going to happen. And I don't know if it was like if Nikon knew that this was gonna happen. I don't know. It's just crazy. Because think about it. If Nikon all of a sudden say, you know what? We're going to make this L mount, but we're not even going to entertain the fact that RF mounts are going to be for the Komodo. We're going to sell these Komodos. Forget the RF mount. They're already expensive. Now the tariffs. I could be on to something. I could just be throwing a whole bunch of baloney out there. But for anybody that's listening to this, y'all going to be like, dang, man, he might got a point. Well, I'm gonna get up out of here. Let me know what y'all thoughts are, and hopefully this doesn't hurt the filming industry or the photography industry. So, yeah, I'm out. Peace.